is English paper 3, test of orals. It's usually an exam that runs for 45 minutes, and it has to do with sounds, basically. So it's very important you know your sounds. You have 60 questions in this section. Okay, so let's take a look. Candidates will be tested in the following areas: vowel sounds, consonant sounds, rhyme, stress, word stress and emphatic stress, then phonetic symbols. We are looking at the aspect of vowel sounds. You'll be given the first 15 questions are vowels, the second 15 consonants. So let's look at this. In each question, find the one word among those that are A to D that has the same vowel sound as the sound represented by the letter or letters underlined in the capitalized word. So we have bird. The sound is the long sound. Mean, really, sturdy, and then entire. The answer is C, sturdy. This is where the sound is located in this case. And just like bird, this is where is. So if you're able to identify the properties of some of these sounds and where they fall, it's easy to identify this. The second, horse, or sound, country, sport, jewel, house. Of course, you know it's not in country and it can be in house, and then it's not in jewel, so the answer is sport, the long or sound in this word. Black, a sound, a bake, it's not in bake, blind, was, and match. The answer is was. In this case, black, was. So let's look at that. We have school, bull, dumb, tune, and old. So this sound is long O sound in the word tune there. The next is goat, O sound, that's a diphthong, both, clock, some, model. So you have both in goat, O sound in the word both. Consonant sounds. So let's look at the consonant sounds that will be given. Now it says, in each question, find the one word among those letters HD that has the same consonant sound as the sound represented by the letters represented in the underlined word. Rip. So the consonant sound is the long R, is the R sound, Meter, murder, murmur, and merit. There is something you should know. In English sounds, there is no one-to-one correspondence between the sounds and the letters of the alphabet. And this sound, R, does not end words. So the fact that it is in the word meter, murder, murmur, doesn't mean there is a R sound. So all of these, the answer is in there. So you have it in merit. The answer is merit. R is there. So let's look at the word. Let's look at it. Swing, virtue, shallow, whole, and witch. So we have virtue, shallow. That's the O there. Whole, the W is silent, and then witch. So the answer is witch there. Now look at this. Q. There is a yeah, and the long U there. That's with the makes this Q there. Cushion, curious, caution, and costly. Q, cushion, curious, caution, and costly. The answer is curious. This is where the sound falls. And then we have second, placid, sugar, version, friends. Placid, sugar, version, and friends in second. So the answer is placid. And then we have this word yam. It has the y sound. Full, humble, spurious, and crude. Yam. Full, humble, spurious, and crude. The answer is spurious. It is here. You. It has the y sound with the u sound together, just as yam has the y, the y sound, just as spurious too has the y with the u sound. So that gives it the u there. Now let's look at this. In each question, find the one word among those lettered A to D that rhymes with the capitalized word. One thing about rhyming is that you know that a word rhymes when the last three sounds are made up of a vowel and then a consonant that ends it. That's one way to identify. So we have wash, trash, splash, squash, trash. Again, thrash, splash, squash, and trash. Now, in this case, we are looking at the vowel sound and then the consonant sh. They all have the sh sound. But the vowel sound, is it the same? Now, let's look at the word that has it. So it's squash, wash, there. Okay? It rhymes. Roll, oh, soul, all, skull, and toil. Roll, oh sound, soul, all, skull, and toil. The answer is soul, oh sound. The next, retired, retired, despised, remind, expired, and shared. The answer is expired. Remember, you look at the vowel sound and the consonant that ends it. Hap, struck, shame, sharp, and half. Half, struck, shape, sharp, and half. The answer is sharp. Okay? Pressed, pleased, seized, seized, and wrist. The answer is seized. Now the next question, in each question, a word appears at the top. After it, 4 different versions of the same word appears, lettered A to D, and which one syllable in each printed in capital letters to show the primary stress. Find the one that correctly shows the primary stress. So here you're given the word, and then you're looking at the syllable that contains the exact primary stress. The words are broken into syllables for you. Introduction. Now always remember, words that end with TION have their stress on the penultimate syllable. That is the syllable before the TION. Take note. So in introduction, or words that end with TION, the stress falls here. So the answer is introduction. You see it? Remember, affixes cannot carry stress. TION. So it falls here. Okay, that is the syllable before it. So it's introduction. Temperature. You have temperature here, temperature, and like that, different patterns of the stress. Remember, it can't fall at the end, so the answer is temperature. That's the first syllable there. Miscalculate. So miss cannot carry the stress. Miscalculate, and like that, it's broken, and then the answer is miscalculate. So the stress falls here. Mathematics, mathematics, like that, broken into different forms, and then the stress falls ma here. Okay, IC is a suffix in this case. Citizenship, so it can't fall on ship. You have citizenship broken in different parts, and then it falls in CI, citizenship. So now let's look at this. It says, in each of the following questions, look for the word that has the same stress pattern, that has a different stress pattern from the other 3. So when you're looking at this, you have to identify where the stress falls in the words, in 3 words, if they have the same. The one that is different, then you take out that one. Overlook, 26, undergo, and imagine. So the first 3 words are compound words. Overlook, combination of 2 words. 26, 20 and 6. Undergo, imagine is only a single word, and so the stress falls in imagine. So all others have their stress on the second syllable, and the primary syllable has imagine on the first syllable. 2/3, half-baked, offhand, and midnight. The stress is midnight. Remember, there are compound words here. Library, gentleman, policeman, deputy. The answer is policeman. Endeavor, magazine, confession, example. The answer is magazine, first syllable. Between, older, recent, and stressful. The answer is between. So we look at emphatic stress. It's very important for us to know that for emphatic stress, you're looking at the emphasis of where the stress falls in words. And most of the time, the word where the stress, where the word being emphasized is written in capital letter. One clue is always to look at the group of words to be sure if this is different from the other options or questions. So where it is not written, that's the way to identify the answer. Sometimes you have to think critically and read through the questions. So it says here, in science, the primary colors are red, green, and blue. The emphasis is on green. Now let's look at the options. In science, are the primary colors red, yellow, and blue? In science, are the secondary colors red, green, and blue? In painting, are the primary colors red, green, and blue? In science, are the primary colors red, green, and blue? The answer to this question is, in science, are the primary colors red, yellow, and blue? The stress is on green. And this, of all the options, green was mentioned. Green wasn't mentioned here. So the answer is option A. Now let's look at the second one. Our parents traveled to South America last week. Emphasis is on America. So let's look at this. Will our parents be traveling to South America last week? Did her parents travel to London last week? Did her parents travel to North America last week? Did her husband travel to South America 2 weeks ago? The answer is, did her parents travel to London last week? Emphasis on South America. So in this case, we have North America, South America. The answer is London. All others mentioned whether south or north. So the emphasis is London. Okay? Now let's look at this. Students are forbidden to leave the premises at weekends. Forbidden is here. Now it says, and students are forbidden. So are students forbidden to go outside the school on weekdays? Are forbidden to leave the premises at weekends? Are visitors allowed to enter the school at weekends? That's why I said we must read the question. Are students allowed to go outside the school at weekends? Are students allowed to leave the premises on weekdays? The answer is, are students allowed to go outside the school at weekends? Now, all others, are students forbidden to go outside the school on weekdays, weekends? That's what we are talking about. Are visitors allowed to enter the school at weekends? We are looking at students. Are students allowed to go outside the school at weekends? Weekends. Outside, of course, school and premises. That's why this is the answer. Are students allowed to leave the premises on weekdays? We are not looking at weekdays, we are looking at weekends. So the answer is C there. The directors refuse to appoint a new editor. Emphasis on refuse. Do the directors refuse to appoint a new manager? Do the directors want to dismiss the new editor? Does the manager want to reinstate the old editor? Do the directors want to appoint a new editor? The answer is, do the directors want to appoint a new editor? Now it says, do the directors want to appoint a new editor? Now it says here, refuse, and we are looking at appoint here. Okay, that's it. Yes, but they would have already been living together for many years. Emphasis on living. Did they get divorced last week? Did they get married last Sunday? Have they been living apart for many years? Have they been living together for many years? The answer is, have they been living, okay, have they been living, yes, but they would have already been living together for many years. have they been living apart for many years? The answer is C in this case. Question 31. In each question, find the one word among those lettered A to D that contains the sound represented by the phonetic symbol at the beginning. This sound is S sound. We have breathe, may, says, infer. So the answer is says. That is C. The next, the long U sound, butcher, beauty, manure, and struck. The answer is butcher. The next, depth, about, dream, and world. The answer is world. The schwa sound, tested, quarter, ed, and market. The answer is quarter. I sound, buy, boy, pay, and tire. The answer is buy. A sound, smile, bet, stake, and free. The answer is stake. The next sound, we have husband, practice, sugar, and chemical. The answer is practice. G in hang, ghastly, slaughter, and German, ghastly. And then R, poor, stored, wretch, and there. The answer is wretch, there. And then Ch in patient, mission, wrestle, question. The answer is question. So we've come to the end of English paper 3. Here is wishing you all the best as you sit for your SSCE exams. Feel free to look at other PrepStation videos from the UTME, which will serve as a helpful tool, and also go through the slides over and over again. Thank you.